Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is me, it is Toni, and today's video, y'all, we are going to be discussing how and what made me want to transition full-time and just start living full-time. For those of you who are new, for those of you who are new and you don't know who I am Toni, I'm transgender, and I am here to share my life and life experiences with you and tell you kind of what I've been through. I know that I've been quite MIA, I'm not gonna lie. But I just go through phases where I feel really open to talking about life, and other times I just kind of keep a lot of things internally. So sorry that I've been gone for a while. I know that I get a lot of your DMs and we talk on like Instagram and stuff like that. But if you ever want to reach out to me, leave a comment down below or reach out to me on Instagram. But today's video is just going to be me telling you kind of when I decided to make certain choices to transition full-time. So if you've seen my videos in the past, and I know my videos in the past, I had mentioned that I was living a life that was 60-40, so meaning 40% of the time I was living as female and the rest I was just living as an androgynous person. And I did that for a long time. I want to say for like about a year, because I've been on hormones now for 2 years. I want to say the first year and 6 months I was just very androgynous. I wasn't super living as a trans woman. I wasn't really telling people to call me he, she, call me she, her, hers. And then I kept getting all of these emotions of like, well, people aren't really believing me, you know, like they're not taking me serious. And the truth of that was that I wasn't taking my transition serious and committing to it. I was scared, and I think that transitioning is something where you will go through phases where you're scared because you're scared that the people around you are going to reject you, and that's just the honest truth. I was scared that my siblings were going to reject me, and if I'm being blatantly honest with you guys, I have 3 siblings. I have 1 gay brother and then 2 straight brothers. My 2 straight brothers don't speak to me, which is totally fine. I've grown to realize that everybody comes around, everybody accepts everything on their own terms, and I cannot force them. But I used to feel like I had to please them, so that's why I didn't wear my extensions full time, because I was scared that I was not gonna make them happy. But in reality, someone messaged me and they said, you're not here to please your siblings, you're here to please yourself. So when I got that message, it just kind of really made me think, okay, Toni, like what's the next step? You know, you really have to grab a hold of your life and do it. So one thing that kind of worked for me was I went into group therapy for non-binary or non-conforming individuals. So a lot of trans people, a lot of people that were thinking they were trans were in this group. It was awesome. I did it for like 12 weeks, which was 3 months, every Monday, a 2-hour session. And then I'd have a 1-hour session privately on my own with a therapist. And really going into it with the therapist was what helped me with her, kind of helped me pick out the problems of why I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, meaning being full-time. And at this point, I was, like I said, living 60-40. At this specific point, I couldn't see my therapist for 3 weeks. For some reason, I forgot what ended up happening. We didn't see each other for a while. And I already had been contemplating like getting my extensions putting in permanently, like tape-ins, because I thought to myself, if I have my extensions in full time, because to me having my extensions in meant that I was her. I was identifying as her, not as he, him, or his, whatever. And I feel like the universe kind of works in its ways, because at this point, I had been watching a lot of like Lademi's videos, and she said in one of her videos that not everybody was going to be on the bandwagon with you, and that you just have to be okay with that. And that's one thing that really hit home. And then during that same time, like I said, I've been contemplating getting tape and hair extensions. So my friend Vula's friend Jose came in, who I consider a friend now, was coming into town because he was going through his own life stuff where he was going to move, and we worked together on a project, and I had kind of mentioned that I wanted tape-ins. He offered to do them, and I said, okay, Toni, if you get tape-ins, like you're gonna have to like live your life fully as she, her, hers. So that's what extensions meant to me. Like I said in the past, I went and got my extensions put in, and then I'm not gonna lie, guys, at first it was a little hard. Not hard, it was just I felt like I had to get more comfortable in my own skin. And one thing that sorry guys, one thing that they say is the more you do things, the more comfortable you get, and that is 100% true. The first couple of days that I had my extensions in, like, I'd kind of be shy, like I would walk like this. But then, girl, now she's just like, what's the tea, sis? But as the days progressed and time went on, and I've had my extensions in for like 2 months now, it felt so good to show up and like people just kind of like, you showed up as you. And if somebody calls you him, they're just fucking being a bitch, because girl, I am not trying to present as male, okay? Please, sis. And you will get people like that. Of course I had the fears of people calling me him. But one thing that my therapist said was that if you don't deal with that issue, is in the sense of like having someone call you him when you're out in public, you'll never learn to deal with it or how to handle that situation. So you're never gonna face it. So it's basically facing your fears. And the more that I just stepped out as myself, the more comfortable I got. And I'm at the point now where like I don't remember what it was like to be a boy anymore. I've started to take my transition a lot more serious. I'm at the point now where I'm ready to change my name, and I'm pretty sure that 100% I'm gonna go with the name Toni, T-O-N-I. My birth name was Anthony, and like I thought about Drea, I thought about Heather. I used to love the name Heather so much, but I think Toni is just something that it's me still. Of course I could go for a more feminine name, but I don't know, it's weird to rename yourself almost. So it's kind of like, what do you do, But yeah, I started the paperwork to change my name. So we requested the doctor letters and all that stuff. I think it's gonna take a minute. I have to go to a workshop next month to do it. And then I also have started to look into facial feminization surgery. I know a lot of people will say, Toni, you don't need it, blah, blah, blah. There's certain things that I think us as humans, we see our face all the time and we want things, and it's time for me to kind of step into that. Also, breast implants and more of a curvaceous figure, which I know I mentioned in the past. So I just feel like I'm at a point where like I'm taking things a lot more serious about my transition, because the best way that I can explain it is once you just do it and go for it and you just feel so good about it, you realize that that's the life you want, so you just kind of stick to it and you go. It's kind of like before I wouldn't get nails, and now I get nails and I like love getting nails. So it's just stuff like that. If it's something that y'all want, then you just gotta go for it. Like honestly, it's scary, trust me. And people are gonna leave your life, and people are gonna change. You're gonna see people's real colors and how people truly feel about you. And I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, I'm the most beautiful thing on the planet of the earth. But you will see how certain friends will change to your transition, and that you are no longer the shadow, if that makes sense. That's a whole other story for its own. Maybe one day I'll make a video about that. But that has caused me to lose friends because some friends just couldn't handle it. And like I said, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm the most beautiful thing on the planet of the earth. It's just things that have happened. But the more comfortable, yeah, guys, I don't know, I would say go for it. Start little. If it's maybe just going out at night when you're going out with your girlfriends or your friends to the clubs, or just out for drinks, do that. I've never had a guy be like, call me him, or be rude. I mean, who knows what they say once I'm not there, but at least not to my face. The people that have been more rude have been like random women when I used to work as a vendor. This lady was like, him, and I'm like, now I'm in like fucking high heels, bitch. Does it look like I want to be called him? No. But yeah, guys, honestly, transitioning, I think, is just something that has to come internally with strength and for yourself, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of courage. So to all my sisters out there that are transitioning, give yourself some credit. It takes time, and yeah, you're gonna be scared, but how badly do you want it? And I mean, this may not make sense, but it's just, for me, eventually I had to realize that I wanted it more than I wanted to be okay with my siblings. And one thing that I used to think is, people will lose out on you, you don't lose out on them. So just remember that, and you're loved. There's people around you, there's support groups. So all my sisters out there, don't be scared to look for support groups. I know that some of y'all don't be calling, but you need to call the support groups. There's numbers out there. Whether you're feeling suicidal, whether you're feeling like you have anxiety or depression, there is so much help out there. We are so blessed that there is numbers out there like that, and that we have people that are willing to help, so don't be scared, y'all. If you need help, reach out for it. That's the best advice that I can give you. And yeah, so hopefully this video made sense. I'll try to edit it down so that it's not like all over the place and that it just makes sense. And you guys basically, like I said, make sense and you guys get it. But with all that said, I will talk to you guys later. Bye, everyone.